You've seen this person before. They walk into a room and say nothing. They sit in meetings and barely speak. They're at the party, but they're not really in the party. And yet, there's something about them that you can't ignore. Something that makes you wonder, what are they thinking? Today we're going deep into the psychology of people who don't talk much. And I promise you, what you're about to hear will completely change how you see quiet people forever. Welcome to Wolf Psych, where we decode human behavior in a way that actually makes sense. If you're new here, subscribe, because this channel will change how you read people. Now let's get into it. First, let's kill the biggest myth about quiet people. Society has trained us to believe that if someone doesn't talk much, something must be wrong with them. They're sad, they're arrogant, they're weird. But here's what psychology actually tells us. Research shows that people who speak less tend to score significantly higher in emotional intelligence than people who talk constantly. Not slightly higher, significantly higher. Because here's the truth. Talking and thinking are not the same thing. In fact, they often work against each other. When you're talking, you're performing. When you're quiet, you're processing. And quiet people have chosen processing over performing. Every single time. Think about it this way. Imagine two people walk into a room where something tense is happening. Person A immediately starts talking, reacting, filling the silence because silence makes them uncomfortable. Person B says nothing. They watch. They observe. They notice the body language, the tension, the unspoken words hanging in the air. By the time person A finishes talking, person B already understands exactly what's happening and why. That is not shyness. That is not weakness. That is a completely different level of awareness. Here's something fascinating about quiet people that most people never realize. They are almost impossible to manipulate. Think about it. Manipulation works by triggering fast emotional reactions. Someone says something designed to make you angry, scared, or insecure, and before you even process what happened, you've already reacted. Quiet people don't react that fast. They pause. They observe. They ask themselves, why is this person saying this? What do they actually want? That pause, that tiny space between what they hear and how they respond, is their protection. And most manipulators don't know what to do with a person who simply doesn't react. Now let's talk about how quiet people carry themselves in social situations, because this is where most people completely misread them. A quiet person at a party isn't bored. They aren't antisocial. They aren't wishing they were somewhere else. They are reading the room. They notice who's performing and who's being real. They notice which friendships are genuine and which ones are held together by convenience. They notice the person in the corner, who's smiling but whose eyes aren't. They see all of this silently, without anyone knowing they're watching. And if you ever get the chance to have a real one-on-one conversation with a quiet person, you'll be shocked, because behind that silence is a mind that has been observing, collecting, and connecting dots for years. The conversations quiet people have are not small talk. They go deep fast, in a way that makes you feel genuinely seen. There's a reason why some of the most powerful people in history were known for being quiet. Abraham Lincoln barely spoke in meetings. He listened, he observed, and when he finally said something, the entire room paid attention. This is what psychologists call accumulated signal value. The less someone speaks, the more weight their words carry when they do. The person who talks constantly, after a while, you tune them out. Their words become noise. But the quiet person who has said almost nothing all evening, when they suddenly speak, every single head in the room turns. That kind of presence cannot be faked. It is built in silence. Now here's something important I want you to understand. Not every quiet person is quiet for the same reason. Some people are quiet from confidence. They simply don't feel the need to fill every silence. They're completely comfortable in their own presence. They speak when they have something worth saying, and they're totally unbothered when they don't. Other people are quiet from pain. Past experiences taught them that their words didn't matter, that speaking up only made things worse. So they learned to go silent, as a way to protect themselves. Both look the same from the outside, but they feel completely different from the inside. If you're the second type, hear this. Your silence was never the problem. The environments that made you feel like your voice didn't matter, those were the problem. The right people will make you want to speak. And when you do, they will actually listen. So what's the real takeaway from today? Quiet people are not broken. They are not cold. They are not hiding something dark. They have simply figured out something that most people spend their entire lives missing. that you learn nothing while you're talking. That real power doesn't announce itself. That the most dangerous person in the room is rarely the loudest one. It's the one sitting quietly in the corner, watching everything, missing nothing. If this video made you think differently about quiet people or about yourself, give it a thumbs up. It helps Wolf Psych reach more people who need to hear this. Subscribe if you want to keep going deeper into human psychology every week. I'll see you in the next one.